Hey G-Fans, GojiFan93 here, and I know I've posted a lot of videos today, but I had to do one more because I finally was able to sit down and watch the first, the Rebirth of Mothra movie. Um, I have some of you asked me if I've seen it before, want to know what I thought, but I haven't seen it, but now I have, and I'm here to give like a little review thing about it, so after seeing it, well, before I was seeing it, I had low expectations. I wasn't, because I'm not a big Mothra fan, so I wasn't so, like, excited to see it. But, the movie started and, it showed Mothra, that was cool, and the suit, or the design of Mothra looked very similar to Godzilla vs. Mothra from the Heisei 1992, but this was 1996 when it came out. But a couple things that I liked about it was the Mothra fairy character. That thing was so cute. I loved that thing. That, like, the little Mothra thing that the two fairies are flying on and stuff. She was like that. That was a cute little Mothra fairy thing. And then there was like obviously there were kids in it, and this movie, I heard a lot from people that saying that the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy is very aimed towards kids, and I can sort of see that, but to me it was actually, it wasn't so heavily on kids, yeah, there were two kids, they were the protagonists and stuff, but they weren't, and actually surprisingly, they weren't really that annoying. In most films like this, when you have kids in there, they're kind of annoying, they take away from the movie, and well, they didn't annoy me or anything like that. They actually did a pretty good job. So like, a scene that I really liked was like the fight scene between the Mothra fairy and the dragon the evil person. I think her name was Belvira or something like that, and they were like fighting in the living room of the main character's house and stuff, and they're just having like this little, basically like dog fight in the air. That was pretty funny. And another thing that a scene that was pretty funny was when they're in the airplane and they dress up the doll, or the little fairies, as like Barbies. They dress them up like dolls and stuff. I thought that was pretty funny. And then when we get to the part where they introduce Desghidorah, that was his name. It was awesome the way they introduced him, coming out of the mountain, it's exploding and stuff, and like, one head pops out and the other head is just all, and they all come out. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And then throughout the movie, they have the musical score, and the music was like the best thing in this movie. The music was so beautiful sounding, and it matches perfectly with like what Mothra is, and it was so majestic and calm, and like even the fighting music was still really, like, I don't know, it was just really good. The music was spectacular. And then Mothra's fighting Desghidorah, and then she's getting her ass kicked, which I was thinking, again, even in her own movie now, she gets her ass kicked, by Desghidorah, and it just seems like she can never get a break. Every movie she's in, she's always getting her ass kicked, and I was like rooting for him, like, come on, you can beat him and stuff, and she has the birth of the Mothra larva, like in every Mothra movie, there's always a child that comes out, but what was really interesting is that the Mothra larva started to help the adult, her mom, fight Desghidorah, and like the really cool thing was that the Mothra larva lifted up and shot a green beam out of her body. I was like, whoa, when did Mothra larva could do that? Like, shoot a beam? Like, that was so cool how she was able to do that. And then of course Mothra dies, but this scene where Mothra is like, they're about, like, Mothra took her child and they went over to the ocean, and then she dropped her off, and then Mothra just went into the water too, and you know, we're going, oh man, she's gonna die and stuff. But they make it so dramatic and so sad. This is the saddest death that I've had to watch Mothra in. I mean, like, you know, it was sad, you know, in like Tokyo SOS with fighting Godzilla, where, you know, the two larvae are coming up to the mom and they're attacking and stuff like that, or when Batra's talking to Mothra. But I mean, this, where her child is talking to her, and it doesn't end there. They start, you know, when they're talking, and all of a sudden Mothra, like, just, you see her start to like go into the water. She's starting to, like, really starting to, you know, go, and then the Mothra larva, and that they hug. They like touch, and Mothra's like, you know, putting the larva under her wing and stuff like that, and they're making the most saddest sad, and the music's playing and stuff. Like, I was so sad at that moment. I mean, it's probably like almost just as sad as when Godzilla's burning up and melting. Like, that's how sad this scene was. And I bet if you're a diehard fan of Mothra, that scene probably made you tear up, because as a Godzilla fan, when Godzilla burnt up, that made me tear up. And, you know, I mean, it's like, so, you know, it was a very sad scene. And then she, like, totally just sinks and just goes down in the water, like, so, and, like, oh my god, it was so sad. But then the larva goes, and then she, you know, becomes an adult and stuff, and then she becomes, I think it was Mothra Leo is what the name was, and that design was so cool. The new design, the new look for her is awesome. Just an all-around great costume for her and stuff like that. And then when she goes back to fight Desghidorah, she has like these new moves, these new powers, special attacks that she can do. There's like this one where she's like flying, and like blue lasers are like coming down from the sky and just hammering Desghidorah. Then when she was doing her final attack because Desghidorah was a sealed away monster. Like, the story was that there's like this past battle before humans came, and Desghidorah got sealed by, I guess, an army of Mothras. I guess there were more Mothras than one, but then, you know, Desghidorah got back out, and now Mothra Leo has to seal him back up. But it was cool, like, she was flying around, and green lasers were flying down and just keep on hammering Desghidorah and stuff, and just, I mean, that was a pretty cool scene. And then, you know, she finally seals him up and stuff, and it was a good movie. I mean, like I said, I didn't come into the movie with a lot of, you know, like, ooh, but you know what? I'm glad I saw it. I mean, like, it's been a while. Well, it's been a very long time since I've seen a new Kaiju film. I mean, the last Kaiju film I saw from Toho was so many years ago. Probably Final Wars was the last movie that I saw. No, actually, it probably wasn't even that. It was probably Godzilla vs. Biollante, because that movie was hard to find back in the day. And so, I mean, it's been a lot of years since I've seen a Kaiju film, and this was good. If you're a Godzilla fan, or Mothra fan, Gamera fan, or just a Kaiju fan, I really strongly recommend watching this movie. It is a good one. Yeah, the characters are good too. They're not so bad. The mom and dad, they barely really have any kind of lines. I mean, they're at the beginning, but then they kind of just flake off for the rest of the movie. But yeah, it was a very good movie, very good watch. I'm very happy I saw it, and I'll do another review like this when I see the Rebirth of Mothra 2. So yeah, that's it. And oh, and I gotta thank Ultra Mothra 1 for recommending the movie to me for me to see it. So yeah, so that's it, and see you next time. Stay big, G fans.